Guys, in this video we're going to be talking about 10 essential groove metal albums. Now this groove metal is going to be an experience at its cranium-crunching best. Now, emerging from thrash metal's restless later years, groove metal has definitely sounded like a future when bands like Machine Head changed the game in the early 90s. Unfortunately, like a lot of mercurial subgenres, it remains hellishly tricky to pin it down. Nonetheless, groove metal's swift evolution certainly left its mark on metal in general, and there's a strong argument to be made that records like Sepultura's KSAD and Factory Demanufacture and others by H.N.P, Biohazard and Meshuggah also played a part in defining it. But if you want the real, no holds barred groove metal experience, here are some prime examples of the genre at its streamlined, uncompromising best. There will be absolutely guarantee of riffage. Now, I could waste time by causing a stir in the metal community in regards to whether it was Exhorder or another band that truly coined the groove metal sound. It was Exhorder. The crew's first two albums ripped like absolute, and last year and recently More in the Southern Skies was even better. The lore is more muscular and dark than the seminal debut, Slaughter in the Vatican, but you can take your pick from either for groove metal destruction at its most vicious. So, no one defined groove metal with more singular intensity than Machine Head. Widely held as a classic upon its release, Burn My Eyes had all the necessary swagger and precision, but it also boasted absolute levels of non-more punk energy, a very obvious debt to the hardcore hiccup, and some of the biggest hooks metal ever had. You know what? I thought at the time that, even at the time, I think metalheads listening to this album and music lovers alike probably thought that Machine Head definitely had a future. The opening band speaking of Machine Head, the opening band on their first European tour as headliners, Mary B. Shane introduced the world to the raging fury of Peter Dolving, Layer of the Haunted, with a healthy dose of lurching hardcore thrown into their skull-rattling hybrid sound. The Swedes were clearly on much of the same musical page as their US counterparts, but as you can hear on the likes of The Grind and Hollowhead, they had really US groove metal's weird, volatile cousins. Briefly tipped as British metal's next big thing, the lead Beheaded have been largely erased from our homegrown scene history, presumably by people with no ears. Both the band's albums are unsung gems, but Chamber of One is particularly monstrous and triumphant display of groove metal might, with a strong melodic core of plenty of atmosphere and dark charm thrown in. They should have been huge, but they were dropped by their label and they split shortly after this album's release. Occasionally dismissed as Exhorder clones, El Paso's Piston Razors simply went for the groove juggler every time, eschewing experimentation in favour of their bludgeoning torrent of supple riffs and throat-shredding refrains. Where We Come From remains their finest work, an absurdly infectious eruption of balls-heavy head nodders, all powered forward by the machine like Eddie Garcia's dagger-sharp drum patterns. Dubbed the California Groove Machine by their diehard fans, Devildriver are part of that metal furniture at this point, but it was their neck-wrecking second album that first sealed the deal, constructing their thunderous riffing assault around pummeling, picked inciting grooves was a masterstroke. While many of their US peers chased a shiny metalcore dollar, Devildriver was skillfully updating something that was a lot effing heavier. Now, many metalheads will point to Lamb of God as the rightful heirs to the groove metal crown, but they're not the only band to fly the flag in more recent times. Fellow Virginians, Byzantine, have earned a fierce reputation by warping groove metal to their own nefarious ends, resulting in an often epic and adventurous take on the genre. Still out there making people's necks ache, Byzantine hit an initial peak of potency on this, the exhilarating second album. There's something uniquely eccentric about French crew's Trepalium's riffs. Audibly influenced by groove metal and a healthy dose of Meshuggah, they're simply more bendy and wonky than anything that has gone before. As showcased on the deranged and infectious H.N.P, like a jazz-driven take on all stripped-down riff assaults, songs like H.N.P and Let the Crown Rise are designed to get heads banging and toes tapping. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.